So what is the rule? And then I'm going to explain it. The rule is only sell people who have a high likelihood of success. Now, success in what? Whatever it is they're trying to solve by enrolling in your program, product, or service. What determines if they have success? Well, it's the way they go into that engagement. Are they going in with clarity? Are they going in with enthusiasm? Are they going in with commitment? Are they going in with a vision, something that means something to them that's going to pull them forward? Are they going in with confidence that they can make it happen with the support that you're going to give them in the program or the service? If they don't have those things because they have limiting beliefs or mind viruses or logistical constraints, they've got too many other things going on. If you bring that person into the program and somehow they actually enrolled, they're not going to do well. And that is a disservice to you. That is a disservice because they'll probably refund and you should have a conscience. It is a disservice to the prospect because they'll really struggle or they'll fail and now they've lost the money as well for the investment. And it is a disservice to your business owner, the offer owner, because they're going to be a nightmare client. They might leave a bad review. They might quit. They might want a refund, etc., etc. So you need to only sell people who have a high likelihood of success, which means through the discovery conversation, you're not just gathering data on what is their current situation that they want to move away from and what is the desired situation they want to move towards. You also are gathering data on what is the likelihood that they make that shift. So you need to understand their mental models, their life right now. If they got a supportive partner or an unsupportive partner, if they got a lifestyle that means they've got the hours to do it. Every single thing that crops up in the discovery that you think, that's a red flag. I don't think that's going to help this person be successful. You have to address it head on. This is also why the way I teach closers prevents you getting into objection battles. You don't have to do 20 minutes of objection handling because when you run a proper scriptless discovery and you're really concentrating and you're following these rules, you're so present and you're so unattached to the outcome, but very attached to what's right, that you actually uncover all of the truth, what's really going on. And if I find on a sales call, there are things that are not aligned for this person to have success, I have two options. I tell them and they say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to have success if I don't fix my certainty or commitment or this limiting belief that's going to make it impossible for me to do something. I'll give you an example. We were doing our weekly live training inside the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, and we were doing an example of a fitness role play, so selling somebody to get into better shape. And the prospect was saying, I don't like healthy food. I don't like them. I don't like healthy food. And if you're selling fitness, one of the things you're going to have to do is stop eating junk food and start eating healthy food. So what did we do? To keep it short, we basically had a conversation with the prospect about, well, are you willing to eat healthy food to get the body you want? Or is that not something you're willing to do? And through the conversation, we had to get the prospect aligned that even though they don't like doing that, they're willing to do it consistently and promise themselves and us that they will stick to it so that they can get the goal that they want. If I'd have moved forward to enroll that person, knowing that they don't want to eat healthy food, but I'd manipulated them in some way to enroll, or even if the prospect had said, you know what, I don't want to eat healthy, but I want to get in shape. Here's the money. I want to do the program. You would have to say, hold on, I'm not willing to enroll you right now because right now you have a very limited likelihood of success. And here's why. Anybody that comes into this program to get the body they want understands that they need to eat healthy as one of the core components of the process to become in good shape, healthy, and get the body of your dreams. That is something that you are currently not aligned with because you say you don't like the food and it doesn't seem like you have been eating healthy or you're willing to eat healthy because you don't like it. And so at the moment, as far as bringing you into the program and you getting results, we don't have alignment. So that's how you would do that. And all this is based around the rule that you only sell people who have a high likelihood of success. And there's going to be only three camps. People that no matter what you do, they still don't step into a place psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, where they're actually going to be likely to have success. You try your best and you have to just say, hey, I'm sorry, but we don't have alignment for these reasons, and therefore there's nowhere further to go in this call. It doesn't happen very often if you know what you're doing, but it happens sometimes. The second camp is the people that are not aligned, and by going through realigning them with things, by discussing openly and honestly and upfront where the misalignments are, and putting the mirror back on the prospect and saying, how do you feel you're going to hit these goals, if your fitness goals, if you don't eat healthily? They said, well, I'm not. Do you want to change that, knowing that to do that, you're going to have to eat these foods consistently, and it's not just a thing you do now, you're going to have to continue eating those foods to maintain the body. Now, through all of those conversations, the prospect in the second camp chooses, not forced, not manipulated, not blackmailed, not heavy-handed sales objection handling. They choose, by you holding the mirror up and inviting them to a new way of behaving, you know what? I want this, and I'm going to be aligned with what's going to make it likely for me to have success. That is the second camp. The third camp, you just go through your normal discovery process, and they answer all of your questions on the data, and you're thinking, okay, I've got the data, and they're aligned to having success, the way they're showing up as a person, their beliefs, their behaviors, their energy, their vibe even. I feel that they're going to have a high likelihood of success. And you have those three camps. But you never, ever, ever try and sell someone that is not in one of the other two camps. If they're in the first camp at any point, or if they're still in that camp by the end of the conversation, you don't sell them. And what's really cool is that when you do the right thing, which is, I'm going to sell people only when they're aligned to have a high likelihood of success. By having the conversation through that lens of that's when I'm going to close, people feel that you're genuine. They feel that you're authentic. They feel like you wanted to ensure that they're going to be successful before taking their money. And that is something that is communicated, not just verbally, not with your tonality, but through the ether, through your energy, through your aura, that you're a good person that's trying to do what's right and ensure not only do you enroll the person, you take the money and you get a commission, but that they're going to have a high likelihood of success.